Hello, everyone. Welcome to AFOL Spotlight Live. I am Boone here. Welcome back to Boone Builds. We have Simon Liu on tonight. He'll be joining us here in just a moment. This is it, AFOL Spotlight Live.
Let's go! Climb aboard this proverbial Winnebago. We're talking about the awesome fans of Lego. So build your mock and shift it into drive. It's time for AFOL Spotlight Live.
Welcome, everybody. I am here with Simon Liu. Hey, Simon, how you doing, man?
Not bad, not bad. Didn't literally just walk in the door or anything.
This was probably one of the craziest beginnings of an AFOL Spotlight Live so far, and I'm not even 100%.
Oh.
I'm not even 100% sure we're streaming to the right place. Let me see. It says AFOL Spotlight Live, featuring Simon Liu. Let me take a look.
That is my name, yes.
And yes, it is. We're in the right spot. We've got a couple people in the live chat. Oh man. Hey, Brad's Life. Hey, Thorbricks. Thank you guys for joining us. Simon literally just walked in the door at his home. You said work was crazy.
Yeah, work is always crazy, but work allows me to pay for exorbitant trips to the fanciful worlds of Portland and other places like that.
Awesome, awesome. I can't wait to see you in Portland here in just, I think, like 3 weeks, right? Or is it even less than that? Sheesh,
It's 3 weeks, yeah.
yeah, we're coming up on it. We are going to start off with, man, sorry, I'm a little bit flustered. But I'm glad we're
That's
starting.
my fault.
No,
I'm
it's
late. I threw everything off.
no, it's not you at all. It's funny because I was totally gonna start, and just kind of like ease into the show here and kind of get going without you, and then just let you pop in whenever it seemed natural for you to do that.
Okay,
And then,
so I'll be back. I'm gonna use the restroom, get a drink, maybe get a coffee, go to Star. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
anyway, but then I started the live stream and
Hmm?
then it told me it couldn't do it, and it was trying to stream to like an old link or something like that, but then I tried it the second time and it worked and it's fine. This of course is AFOL Spotlight Live. For anyone who happens to be joining us and doesn't know what AFOL means, it stands for Adult Fans of Lego. Simon is probably one of Simon, how long have you considered yourself a fan of Lego?
Probably all my life. I got probably my first Lego set around maybe 3, 4 years old, and ever since then I love Lego. I had like a bit of a dark ages. Came out in university and I have nothing better to do because I have exams, and I went to Toys R Us. I'm like, oh yeah, we have Toys R Us. We still have Toys R Us. I know you guys don't, but like, sucks to be you. But bought a Lego set. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so fantastic. I want to keep playing with Lego, and that just kind of regurgitated my love of building with things. And ever since then, I haven't stopped.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you use the term AFOL?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. So you would consider yourself you've been an AFOL since you became an adult because
Pretty
you've
much.
always been a fan of Lego. I
Yes.
would love to hear a little bit about. I know you're really into contests. You're really well connected. At least it seems to me you're really well
Hmm.
connected with the online community of Lego fans. What can you tell me about kind of your history with your connection to the community?
Um, Interesting question. What is my connection with? So I basically discovered the fan community through Brothers Brick, through Flickr, and through Eurobricks. Actually, my first start was Eurobricks. And spoiler alert, you don't actually have to be European at all. I'm not European. I'm actually from Canada. I don't have any Canadian flags, but soon I have a giant Canadian flag because I'm gonna wear that on my sleeve. But contest was a way to get involved. And it doesn't matter who you are, what quality build you are, if you're in a slump or whatever. It's here is a nice defined space of here's an idea. I want you to build towards that idea. I'm challenging you to build towards this idea. And that's fantastic. Like, that's why I love contests, and that's why I love partaking in contests, why I love running contests, coming up with ideas contests, because it gets so many people out of their comfort zones. It got me out of my comfort zone. It got so many people out of their comfort zone. Here is a set of criteria, build towards this. It is fun. It is great. I love contests. I love running contests because I know I was one of those guys that were I wanted to build, didn't know what to build, and then all of a sudden, here's a contest. Like, I think the first contest I really entered was the FT from Bricks to Botha, FBTB, and it was like Starfighter contest. It was the original. I literally didn't understand or realize that a lot of Star Wars ships were based off of alphabets. Oh. So this idea, this concept of the A-wing is shaped like an A, the X-wing is shaped like that, blew my mind. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I built one. Okay, to be fair, I maybe I didn't do that well, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun, and it got me to do something and think about something I never thought about, and I just love that. And now I love running contests, helping run contests, because I remember that little moment in my life where it blew my mind that this is a contest. I could build something. Here's an idea. Here's a concept. Go build towards it. And that inspiration, helping other people inspired, is just like that. That is my jive. Like that is my jam.
That's awesome. I love it. And I know, I knew you online before I got to meet you face to face. And I know that you have such an infectious presence in the best way possible in the fan community. So I love that. I just wanted the live chat is awesome right now. Just want to take a moment and say hi to Perry, Andy, Daniel. Yeah.
How do I see this live chat? I'm kind of confused.
I'm gonna set you up right now. Here we go. I'm gonna give you this view, and then that should. Now can you see it?
Oh, I can. Hello.
Awesome.
Wow.
There we go.
Hello, people.
We got Dallin or Dalen. I just got your message the other day. I'll be contacting you soon. I think it's Dalen or Dallin has some cool stuff that we'll share here on AFOL Spotlight Live. Rick, thanks again for joining. My father-in-law Dan is in the live chat. Thanks,
hi Dan.
Thanks for joining. We got Navy Dog. We got Perry, Dave Morgan. We got a lot of people who have joined us in previous weeks of AFOL Spotlight Live, and I appreciate.
Hi Eli.
I appreciate all the people who are coming here for the first time. So in the future, if you ever need to get to my live streams, you can get them at youtube.com/BooneBuilds.live. And if you're watching right now and you want to get notifications in the future, please consider clicking that bell after you subscribe. All right, Simon, we are going to dive into our first segment, and it is show and tell. You got a few things there to show us? Here it is.
I do.
Simon Liu, show and tell. He's going to grab just a couple things there. Come back to us. What is item number one?
Item number one is this. There we go. It is a lovely trophy for Space Jam. So Space Jam is a contest that is run by Micah for basically sci-fi builds, and it changes up every year. Every year we come up with crazy categories that is sci-fi, and you have 2 months to build towards it. There's always a collab category where we force you to play nicely with others, and the rest are various things. This one is the trophy for the mecha. The mecha category was build a mecha for a pedestrian kind of utilitarian type thing, i.e. construction or something like that. So in this case, this is the trophy, and if you can see real close, it's actually an astronaut figure that is actually piloting the thing, and the winner of the mecha for this category will get this nice little trophy.
I love that. It's so great. So this is completely your design, that mech,
Mhm.
and it's very tiny. Uh, if if you can't tell by looking at that thing, that is like the little sort of like minifigure trophy piece printed to be a space like a NASA spaceman, right? What do they
Yes,
call that element?
it's trophy fig. So
Yeah,
there's
trophy
actually
fig.
two in here. It's the little trophy that is one stud wide and approximately let's say 2 bricks tall.
Yeah.
So
So
it was really fun to try to squeeze that into an actual mech that seemed reasonable.
no, I love it. It's beautiful, and I'm always blown away when people can come up with really detailed things that are small. That's on an 8x8 base, right?
Yes, that is an 8x8 base.
Yeah.
You get the nice 8x8 Space Jam printed brick from Eclipse Graphics, who is always our forever amazing sponsor.
Awesome. Thank you for showing us that. Ben Kahn, yes, you did hear correctly that Simon will be at Bricks Cascade this year. That's not a secret, is it? If it was, it isn't now, at least to 31 people currently.
No, it's not a secret anymore.
Was it a
No,
secret?
no, it wasn't.
Oh,
It was
okay,
not a
good.
secret.
Oh, good.
I think I clicked the I'm here. I don't think I clicked the secret whatever checkbox it was.
Okay. All right. Cool. What you got something else to show us?
I do. So this is actually arguably, actually one of my personal favorite builds that I don't think people realize. But I am a huge, huge fan of Aliens. It was like the coolest movie as a kid. I loved the dropships. I loved everything, and I built this actually a couple of years ago for Creations for Charity. Creations for Charity is another thing that Nanan created, where one of the things that you can do is get a commission. And such essentially, you can bid, get someone's commission, and you'll build whatever they want. And the guy was like, "What about aliens?" And I built this, which is the spaceship from Aliens that I really love because it was mentioned that build a spaceship, and then sorry, not the original design for the actual spaceship was create something that looked cool, and there was a sphere, and then James Cameron came about like the not cool enough, maybe more of a space gun. So like this is like literally like a space gun.
Oh.
So it was just so much fun, and the request was to build a micro MIDI scale version of this, and I like this. It's dusty because it's been sitting actually on my shelf because it's actually one of the really cool things that I really love. That not only did I build one for someone, I built a copy for myself to keep for posterity, and I just love this thing. Like it's one of my favorite ships and things, and like it's got a little turret and stuff, and
I love
I,
it.
I
Oh, it's beautiful. Is it completely light gray other than the blue on the back?
yes. So that is another thing that is semi-common of my build style is I actually like monochrome.
Mm-hmm.
I like things that are completely light play. I like things that are blocked out in light play and the background is a different color. Like that's very me. Like if you look through my stream, there's a lot of things where it's dull to some people, but I kind of like the idea of a certain color and getting the texture and stuff through actual shadow
Right.
and actual things.
I
Like
I was just
yeah,
talking about that last week with someone. We saw this great like sort of
oops.
I think it was kind of like a bust of a figure that was all done
Mhm.
in red, and I'm always very impressed when people can do monochrome well, right? And it's all about using the shadows and the depth, and you've done a great job with that. I really appreciate that. Um,
Thank you.
what about? Let's see. Do you got one more thing around there somewhere?
I do, and because I was super on time and super prepared, I was totally not trying to rebuild it while doing this entire stream. But this is arguably one of my other favorite builds. It is a gunship in olive, and olive is one of those colors that I just love. It is kind of military, it's kind of sci-fi, and Olive is my favorite thing, and this is like one of the drop ships that I had. I had shown this at BrickCon a couple of years ago, but like I just love this. It has like little floating flip out missiles and stuff,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
rotating things. But like I just I I'm a huge fan of Olive, and you will see Olive representing in Bricks Cascade. But like this was one of like my favorite builds. If you notice, it heavily uses stickers, which is another thing that I kind of accidentally fall in love with,
Huh.
and I just like whenever, and they're all stock Lego stickers. That's the other thing. It's like the challenge is the how do I add stickers, add that complexity to kind of like screw around with your kind of like mind frame by adding stickers, as well as the every single one is a legit Lego sticker. Like that orange sticker is from ExoForge, which arguably has the best stickers that has Lego has ever done, and such.
You said you accidentally fell in love with stickers. Is there a story there?
I guess so. So how long was it? It was 2014. I'm sure someone in the chat will correct me, but we did something called micro Garks. So
Okay.
Garks originally was created by Tramis or TR, Gark being Galactic Asteroid Racing Circuit. The concept was think rally cars, but in space. So they had the idea of it's a dual. If I knew this, I would have brought one out. I can actually hold it one sec.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just take a quick sec to say hello to some other people. We got Zach Clapsdale. Thanks for joining us. Holly's back. We got the Masked Builder. We've got Cody Otley, Aniko, Matt Lincoln. I know I'm going to miss some people. Elthor Bricks, Mr. Hinkle Draws. Hey, thank you all so much for joining us. All right.
So, I assume you said lots of very interesting things and very flattering things about me while I left.
Absolutely.
But this is actually one of the original so-called Garks. This was actually Nathan Proudlove's design, where the definition of Gark was Galactic Asteroid Rally Circuit, where there were two things that were important. You had to have two drivers, one being the pilot and one being basically the map reader. So if you imagine the rally circuits where they tell you to turn X amount, Y amount, imagine this at a galactic scale where they're racing around asteroids. And this was a fad back in 2012, 2013 or so, where they built minifigure scale Gark racers where they were racing around and basically just like building minifigure scale of this. And we figured that's a great idea, really cool, but what can we do to try to make a large scale version of this? In theory, you could have made a large scale version of the minifig scale of this, but then it would have been, I hate to make the pun, astronomically large.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, that's too much work. Let's scale it down to micro scale. So I don't have one handy, but we designed this entire concept of let's make a Gark that is, let's say, 6 studs long, maybe 2 or 3 wide, and build an actual circuit where we can actually display this at a convention. And that became a thing. And one of the things, Forrester Feller, which was my co-conspirator in this, was like let's sticker everything. All those stickers that everyone like, because most builders, we don't sticker. We set them aside for use for some day. Like this was like forget this, let's sticker absolutely everything, sticker as much as you can, and make like these type of things with everything sticker. And ever since then, I realized the stickers are amazing. Stickers add so much to a finished product.
Yeah, I love it. I love how you use that, and especially when you can pull in stickers from different sets and make them work together and complement the color scheme that you're using in your build. You did a great job with that.
Like I now have like a massive collection of stickers of like this is the classic Space Police. There's some more Gark stuff here. I have the premium sticker pile of like really good stuff, and then I have like even an additional sticker pile of okay, my mare skin, like
That's
see,
awesome.
just for the one. Oh, and then oh yeah, so the prize of my collection is the XO4 stickers because they're clear, they stick on everything, they're amazing.
They're
The
so good.
Galaxy Squad is also really good because they're also like you could tell. Like here's an example of me cutting all like this is the original sticker set.
Yeah.
Actually, even that one has a lot taken out, but this is the result of me building and whatever.
Yeah.
Everything's taken, but here's the thing: there's still useful bits of the sticker that is still purest.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
so
that's the thing. It's like I'll chop it up.
Okay.
You can chop up flex tube. So in my mind, chopping up stickers, that's valid. That's okay.
Yeah, good. I love having these conversations. You know, Jake Sadovich is in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Jake.
Hey, Jake.
Just 3 weeks ago, Jake was the very first guest on AFOL Spotlight Live, and we had a great conversation. You know, his response was kind of like, "It's your Lego. Do whatever you want with it. This is my philosophy." You know, and so I love to hear what people, and all those
example of where I plucked out the cool part of the Maersk logo. Yeah, because that's what I needed for my mock. Everything else, I don't need that. Maybe I'll need it someday. I don't know.
That's wild. Oh man, good job. Well, before we move on to cool stuff we've seen online, I'm throwing one wild question at you. This question is actually from Perry Wang. He's one of the volunteer executive producers of this live stream. His question is, for the rest of your life, you can only build MOCs with the elements that are available in one official Lego set. What Lego set do you choose?
Wasn't this a Beyond the Brick question?
Was it a Beyond the Brick question? I don't know.
Do you remember when Beyond the Brick actually had podcasts?
Yeah,
Do you know that was a thing?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I do, but I haven't.
I feel like this was one of their actual questions. I'm assuming because you've done your research.
Well, I'm bringing it back.
And listen. So I think I'm going to use the same answer I gave back then.
Okay.
And that'd be the Millennium Falcon. Because, A, it is huge. I.e., there's lots of parts.
Right.
So, think about logically. I am an engineer. You probably want to pick one of the sets that has the most number of pieces. AKA the most number of things you can do. So, of the sets, like Taj Mahal, Falcon, maybe the new Star Destroyer, I haven't built that or no, but like the Falcon is my jam. It's gray. Greebles. I could do so much with that.
Right. Oh.
I'd pick the Falcon. Like if this was a contest or whatever, I would stick with the Falcon because it's a crap ton of pieces. It's a lot of pieces. It's Greeble. It's gray. That is my jam.
Wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be kind of fun to have some sort of crazy challenge where people did it for a year? Like only built MOCs from the Falcon for a year, or whatever they wanted to choose. Right? I don't know. It would be crazy, to get people on board with that. Because a month wouldn't be enough, right? Because a lot of people they might only build one thing every month, or whatever, right? But if you could challenge serious builders to build from the pieces of one set for a year, I think it'd be kind of cool. I can't wrap my head around it right now, but we'll chew on that. All right, it is time for cool stuff we've seen online.
Cool stuff we found online.
I kind of think that's a fantastic challenge. I think I'd pony up a Falcon if people want to do that or something like that.
So if you...
Let's talk about this later. Sorry.
Yeah.
Focus.
Speaking of good ideas for the future, if you have any suggestions, if you'd like your MOCs to be featured, or if you would like to be considered as a guest for future episodes of AFOL Spotlight Live, you can find that at boonebuilds.com/submit. And there's just a nice little form for you there. And there's actually a drop down. I didn't mention this last week, but there is a suggest any other ideas for future live streams. So that is sort of a general suggestions there. All right, Simon, the first. Oh, I want to give you. If you're seeing this,
I'm seeing a blank screen. Oh.
Is this enough for you, or do you want me to give you full screen of this view?
That is fine, but I think we should focus on the painted picture.
Boom.
The painted city, sorry.
All right.
Boom, yes.
I'll do this one.
So, I'm going to call it early. It is now, what, 31 plus 6, 37 days into 2020. Best build of 2020.
Wow.
Just absolutely amazing, even though technically it was built in 2019, but I'm not going to fault them for that. So this was a collaboration between Grant, who you might know. He did some sort of book that kind of like... I don't know. I think Jason did most of the work.
Hold on, do that again. What was that? What does the book do?
Kind of like...
Yeah, there you go.
Up springs or something? I don't remember the exact terminology they used. But him... his partner in crime, Eli, who's been working for years, as well as their adopted third child, Micah, built this, and it is fantastic. It's so cool because I remember my second BrickCon in 2014, and I saw Grant and Eli's collaboration. It was still a standard castle. Not as innovative as this, but like I saw that like spark. And to see Grant and Eli over the years, their collaborations have just been phenomenal. If you remember, if you follow, I don't know if you ever heard of the Brothers Brick.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
Maybe.
Sounds familiar.
I believe their Star Wars build and Rey inside the Star Destroyer won like best 2018 build of the year or something like that, and like that is amazing to see what these two guys can do. And this is an extension of just how impressed I am. Like if you look at, it doesn't matter where you look,
right.
Zoom in anywhere, and from a builder perspective, it blows my mind at the detail at how well this is executed. From the very, very sketchy techniques they use to just like the pure realization of oh, I see what they did. Why have I never thought of that? It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those red things, like, oh my God, it's like, do you realize what they used? Like zoom in. What are those red things?
Can I get any closer? Oh, I can't get any closer. But yeah,
it's just fantastic, and
like
there are
dinosaur tails and
exactly in red, and it's just fantastic. Like in my mind, some of the best builders is the people that can build something that is not just innovative and unique, but create, and I'm gonna hate to say it, almost like a painted picture.
Yeah.
A lot of people can take a technique, find an interesting way to connect piece A to piece B, but to do that in a way that is pretty, that represents your build, is just mind-blowing.
It's amazing. I watched the YouTube video that they showed on sort of how this MOC is set up and how they use the forced perspective, and it's brilliant. Unfortunately, everyone watching, I failed to put that link in the description, so if anyone has that link, pop it in the live chat there, so that other people can check it out. But it's just amazing. But it's I almost feel like this image in particular is better not knowing exactly how it's all sort of laid out. You know what I mean? Like
it's one of these things where are you the type that wants to be mesmerized by the magic trick or know how the magic trick's done?
Yeah.
And they've presented both, which I love.
Right.
Because there's a lot of builders that will do one or the other, where they'll show kind of like the back scene and such, and then there's one that here's a picture and people are like, how did you do that? How do you do that? Like it's from my perspective, it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I'm the type of guy that I want to be mesmerized in a movie and a thing. Like, I hate spoilers. I just want to be surprised, even though, yeah, I can figure things out, but I don't want to. I want to believe in the magic. But at the same time, I'm an engineer. I want to know how to do this. I want to know if I want to do something similar, how to approach this and stuff. And I love the fact that they show the behind the scenes. And I understand not everyone might want to not know that. Some people do, but like, I'm the curious one.
Yeah.
I'm the one. I gotta click. I want to see how you did this because it's so impressive.
Did you mention Starlog? Did you mention Starlog?
No.
Did you read Starlog when you were a kid? It was like
no, I did not. What is Starlog?
It was like a magazine that showed you all like the behind the scenes stuff of like sci-fi movies and stuff like that.
Part of me would be so interested yet so disenfranchised to know that that's not a real alien popping out of someone's like torso.
Yeah.
Like, that scared me for years.
Let me just.
I was traumatized.
Yeah. Let me say hi to a couple other people in the top chat. Andy Olson. We've got Luca. We've got. Hammerbird is always here. Thank you so much. Joseph Zawada. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are just in our cool stuff we've seen online segment. We're gonna check out. Do you have anything else you want to say, Simon? About what I would say is that. Grant has always impressed me with the way he is able to put elements together to, achieve just really compelling shapes. I'm not as familiar. I think I may have met his collaborators on this project, but I'm not as familiar with them as I am with Grant's work. But what they've come together.
Do yourself a big favor. I know Eli's going to be here. He's local to the, what do you guys call it? Northwest Pacific
Northwest.
Portland area.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest. He's going to be there.
Awesome.
Meet him. He's awesome. Pro tip, ask for Slinky mode. Trust me. Ask for Slinky mode.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. I think we've met. I think Eli and I have met, but we haven't talked the way that I've talked in the past with Grant. But this stuff is awesome.
And I think you might have met Micah in Chicago.
Yeah, I did meet Micah in Chicago. Yeah. Oh,
he jumps over things. He's fun.
It's crazy. This thing is nuts. I just love. Okay, we got to move on. Go check this out, y'all. The link to this stuff, the link to all these things are in the description of this video. I'm popping over here to Instagram. This is Lego Nuts, LEGO_NUTS. And I honestly, by this screen name, I don't know if this is someone I know or not. They're from Vancouver, BC, which certainly isn't that far away from me. But I've seen some of these online, and I've been really impressed with how. Let me see if I can get.
The photography and lighting is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really, really wonderful. And that's my main comment is the lighting. So here we've got sort of I don't know, it's almost like an Escher-esque take on Stranger Things. And then here we've got, the kids from Harry Potter coming out of a picture frame there. Very awesome use of 3D. This one I remember was one of the very first things I saw when these classic DC figures came out, and it's Flash, sort of like moving all around.
So is that one Flash or multiple Flashes from different timelines or different time zones?
Yeah, from different. What do they call it? Is it the multiverse in DC, or is that Marvel? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I thought that this stuff was cool. Check out the link in the. Oh, look at this. This is like guy cooking a fish on the beach. All right, we're gonna head back to Flickr for MOC WARS. What do you want to tell us about MOC WARS, Simon?
MOC WARS. So for anyone that has been around for a while, actually, the other thing I want to point out, the just followed
Oh, you just followed
Lego Nuts.
Lego Nuts. Awesome.
MOC WARS. So back in the mock pages day, which kind of predated Flickr a bit, there was a contest called Mock-athlon. Once again, I'm a huge fan of contests. Mock-athlon was arguably one of the most interesting contests around. It involved a team of 5 builders with 30 days, so that's 3 times a 0, whichever way.
That's right.
Which you had. There's 30 different categories that you had to build, and you as a team could build up to 30. And this was one of the most fun and arguably, in my mind, most inspirational contests around. And it's kind of died down for a bit, and this was brought back this year. Right now, they're in the so-called team building phase, where between now and February 15th, you could create your team of 5. And I've had such an amazing experience in the past with Mock-athlon, working with the other builders, building teams that this is true and dear to my heart. And I love the fact that they're bringing this back in a new iteration. So people have between now and then to build their teams and contribute and build from anywhere from a couple to upwards of 30 builds if you and your team can make it. And I've had so many great experiences we got so into it one year, my team versus another team. We, between the two of us, built a simple math, 59 builds between us. My team was one less, the other team was one more, and it was a virtual, I think we beat them by a point.
Wow.
Which was insane. The 30 days of nonstop building, 5 team, 10 people just went at it, and it was so much fun.
When does the 30 days actually begin?
So for this particular contest, you have between now and the 15th of this month, so February 15th, to create your teams. After that, you have 30 days. So between now and March 15th, they're going to unleash 30 different categories that you can build. I hear there are things that will happen, so I don't know what that means. So there might be new rules or new curveballs thrown. The classic Mock-athlon is you have 15 different categories where you can 30 different categories that you can build, and it's up to you and your team how you split this up and how you do it. My favorite category of all time was the Rube Goldberg category, where you have to build one of those machines and such. And going back to my time, we didn't do this because we were that's way too hard. The other team that we beat by literally 1 point, they did build one, but they missed posting by minutes. In other words, they couldn't upload. So legitimately, and this was honestly one of the, in my mind, the nice parts of the community. Our team basically conceded to the other team. We beat you by a point, but we knew you would have built this last thing. You couldn't do it, but we feel like you should actually win.
Yeah.
Team Jigsaw, which is dear to my heart, that team has gone and done so many incredible things. They were built for this so-called Mock-athlon. They were brought together. There's different permutations. Some of those members now work for Lego, but we're you should have this. The fact that you missed it by minutes because you couldn't upload in time because of internets, that's silly. And then just too bad. You guys win. Suck it. And I'm oh, are you serious? But we've been so close. The fact of the competing and such is just fantastic. The prizes are honestly, at the time, were no one cared. It was the bragging rights. It was the challenge. It was the camaraderie. It was the every day checking this and that. It was just so much fun. And I do that's the thing. If you wanted to get out of your building comfort zone, you wanted to get out of your building block, do a contest. There's so many contests going now. Rebel Lug's doing another contest where you build a micro star capital ship. Just like these things are the things that get you building again.
Right.
If you're feeling like a dark age coming on, or you're not sure what to build, you're home for like a weekend over Christmas, there's a Space Jam and things like that. Like there are things that are almost always going on. Look for it. Lego does a whole bunch of things on ideas. The community does a lot. If you're ever wanting a build challenge, message me personally. If there isn't a contest I can point you towards, I'll just make up a contest just to get you to build.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. That's happened before.
Speaking of messaging Simon personally, you can find him at flickr.com/photos/SciMox. That's SI-Mox. And if they reach out to you through your Flickr page there, Simon, will you get back to them?
Absolutely. You can also try my Instagram, where you have a chock full of wonderful pictures and things that you can look at.
I don't even know if I pulled that up. I asked Simon what his Instagram was, and he said it's going to be funny. You'll laugh when you see it. And I pulled it up, and there was literally nothing there. There's an account and no pictures. Is that right? Or did I miss something?
No, that is absolutely true. So that is the...
Is it like a silent, is it like a peaceful protest or something?
No, so the promise I made to so here's the backstory. I created the account because I wanted to reserve the name.
Mm-hmm.
I was intending to post. I was going to do this. I was going to do that, and I never got around to it. And then all of a sudden, there was actually a decent amount of followers. And then, personally, I just thought it was pretty funny that I had 300 followers with 0 pictures.
Yeah.
And then it kept growing and growing, and to this point where I can't actually post. The running joke is I don't actually know how to post, which is semi-true because I've never actually done it. But once I hit the hypothetical 1,000 mark, I'm fine, I'll actually post. And actually, the plan is I'll host a contest of thank you for believing this empty Instagram account that has never posted anything. And I'm going to do something really fun and cool. And thank you for someone to believe in a absolutely 0 post Instagram account.
Yeah, I love that.
That's the story.
That's awesome. The link is in the description if you're watching this video. I failed to pull it up to show it to you, but there's nothing there. But go subscribe. Click that link in the description below and subscribe. I guess you follow on Instagram, right?
Pro tip: you cannot win the grand prize if you had not followed me prior to the 1,000 followers.
Oh, okay. All right, there you go. Awesome, cool. So let me just look back real quick at MOC WARS. If people do this through Flickr, there's a link here to. Let's see. Is this the link to? Here's the group, and when you go to the group, you can see that there's all these kind of different links here to different stuff. And I think I saw it in here. Sort of, this is where you go to put your team together, right?
Yeah. So, in I guess a week or so, they're gonna actually announce all 30 categories, and at that point, it's all hell breaks loose. You build, you build, you build. Till then, it's kind of like a lull or an eye of the storm where you get your team together. Once you have your team together, then you can actually go and build.
Yeah. Okay. And I think we had one question about that. Who was it? I'm not seeing. Peppa Quinn said how many people have signed up so far. Is that something we know from the outside here, or?
I actually don't know. Matt, go ask them. I don't actually run this contest. I'm just helping promote that.
Okay, cool.
So wait, but hold on, Matt. Do you want to join up in a team?
Thumbs up.
Ping me.
Matt, ping him. Do you want to join him? All right.
Team Futurama.
Every week I show something from Lego Ideas because I just think it's so compelling. This week, I don't know if what I'm looking at, this is the thing that caught my eye. I don't know what Il Tempo Gigante is. I don't know if this is good or not. I looked up some images of what this car was supposed to look like, and it certainly looks like it's supposed to look like the car. It's like there are things about this that like scream out to me and made me want to click on it, and yet there are things about it that I just can't quite wrap my head around. I don't think all of these pieces come in this gold.
That does look like a lot of spray paint.
So
Not that that's bad. Like, that is how Lego generally would actually approach new colors and stuff, using spray paint. I actually prefer the fact that they built a actual model versus a render. Nothing against renderers, but you kind of break the fundamental rule of physics of gravity.
Sure.
So having something real built, even if spray painted, I do appreciate the effort for there.
Yeah. So far, this has been a moment where I show something awesome that we encourage people to go check out. I may be drifting into sort of mockumentary territory here. No pun intended.
Mockumentary. That is a fantastic word.
But anyway, so that was the one that caught my eye. I don't know if I am gonna encourage you to go vote for it, but I at least love the effort that they put behind their mock here. And there's some things about it. There's some things about it that just make me love it. And yet I look at it and I just don't, and maybe it's because I'm not familiar with the source material. Oh look, there is a render. That's wild.
So
okay,
let me ask you this, as someone that has sort of designed a set, when you look at a set, do you look at it as the end product, or ooh, look at the bright, pretty pearl gold pieces I can get from such set?
Yeah, I do both. I do both. Honestly, there are the sets that I really want to own for the sake of having that set are few and far between. I'm almost always, collecting collecting used loose brick, right, from MOCs and I don't know, but there are some sets that I really love. So that question is hard to answer. How would you answer that question?
Oh, I pillage the sets for pieces.
Yeah, that's all you care about.
For the vast majority. Like, there are sets that I have that I'll build on a rainy day, but guess what? It's never a rainy day, because when push comes to shove, I'd rather build something, or worst case, sort, because you need to sort.
Yeah.
But like, I just like building my own thing. Though there are certain cases where like that's an amazing build. That's an amazing set. That is a mock that I can just purchase, and that's fantastic. The Batmobile is a great example. I haven't built it yet, but like that is just gorgeous.
The big one, the new 1989.
The new big one. Yeah, no, I got
amazing.
it, and like
you're gonna love it.
Chris, who designed the set, that is just so gorgeous. Like, every little detail is there, and I just can't wait to build it. But at the same time, if I do that, I'm not building my other thing.
Right.
I'm not building the other thing. Like, I don't get that much time to Lego, and when I do enjoy doing my own thing, or I have to suck it up and do the sorting, because if I don't, I can't do my building thing.
Yeah.
And
well, it is time for Q&A, AFOL Q&A. So if you have asked any questions in the live chat, type them again, because now is the time for us to look at them and answer those burning questions that you have on your mind. They can be for Simon. Let's mainly focus on Simon. I'm happy to answer some questions. We don't have a whole lot of time. I need to wrap up in about 10 minutes. Thank you all for being here. What questions do you have?
Why would people want to ask you questions? It's not like we saw you do anything super cool last night.
No, I'm...
No reason whatsoever.
But, I asked you to be on the live stream here before anyone knew how good or bad last night was going to go for anyone. So I want to honor you, Simon, my guest. What do we got? Dave, Holly, Molly. Oh, Molly, I didn't say hi to Molly before. Molly, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Molly.
Who in the live chat do you know, Simon?
I did know Eli. I did know Matt or Peppaquin. I have actually been reading. I think I might have met that draw guy, Mr. Hankel, a couple of times. I think I saw Joe pop up, and to be fair, I have not been reading the chats that much.
That's fine. That's fine. They've been having a lot of fun there in the chat.
Fantastic.
This is a great time for us to engage. So, Ben Kahn says, "Do you have a favorite mock, Simon?"
Favorite mock of mine or favorite mock in general?
Oh, Ben, what do you mean? Are you asking Simon what?
Oh, I know, Nathan.
Ben,
as well.
Let us know.
Yeah,
do you have? Are you asking what? Are you asking Simon what his favorite mock of Simon's is, or what his favorite mock anyone has ever built? And I'll answer the same question, or we could just both do both.
I was thinking of just do both. So you go first while I think.
So my favorite, man, it's really hard. My favorite mock, not because it's really my favorite, but for some reason because it's the one that I just keep coming back to, is this retro rocket ship that I built for the Series 17 retro space guy. And like I think even if I did it now, it would be a lot different. But I keep taking pictures of it. I keep talking about it for things, and so I don't know. Brett Hooper helped me a little bit with that, but it was primarily my design. I don't know what it is about that one that I love. Favorite mock that I've ever seen from anyone. Sheesh. Can you answer one of those questions while I think about that one?
Yeah, so oh wow, it's actually missing one of the pieces, but I think one of my favorite mocks is actually one of the tiniest mocks that I've ever built. So this step back to 2012, Chicago, I was named Brickworld Master. And the Brickworld Master at the time, Arthur Grudrick, put a whole bunch of scorpions on everyone's display that year. Cool, fun, and such. And I love the concept of that. So like I did not realize that this is relatively common thing in West Coast and specifically BrickCon to basically put things on people's builds and invasion and stuff. So like I was brand new to the community. I didn't know this, and I was like, that was really cool. But I don't want to just like put like a piece on someone's display. I want to put a build, and I designed what I call the frog pod, which here's an example minus the frog because I don't know why.
Yes.
So the frog pod is possibly my favorite build because I spent so long trying to refine something that I could mass produce that was reasonable. It is, I believe, 17 pieces. I really don't. I actually think there's supposed to be a chrome frog in here. So if Adam Myers is watching, he gave me a chrome frog that should be in here. And sorry,
I have a frog pod.
How do you have a frog pod?
I don't know. I think maybe the Hanlons gave it to me or something.
Wait, they re-gifted my frog pod?
Let me see if I can find it. Talk for a second. Tell them another story.
So that was the thing. I mass produced. I think it was actually about 500 of these to give away at the convention, and on Saturday night around 3 a.m. because Chicago is one of those times where you could actually hang out at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I put one on every single person's display. One like, oh no, because that was so the Handlands asked me to build okay, first of all, like put the wings down. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, like that. There you go. That was for
Wait, so is it those supposed to be down there? Maybe
it's supposed to be down.
maybe the frog's just upside down. No.
No, and that was like the greatest thing I figured out. You could actually put the frog perfectly in there without like rattling and stuff. You just gotta put the
does
rod.
That look better?
That looks slightly better.
Okay.
The frog pod. So they asked me to design and figure out how to do that because that was one of their first Kickstarters to actually get them to go to other conventions and stuff. And
Okay.
that was around 2012, and that's why you have him. Thank you for sponsoring Beyond the Brick. I don't know if you know them well or have met the Hanlons, but that was one of the things that was for their original Kickstarter to go to start more of the conventions. One of the tiers was to get a frog pod, and that was it. It was the red permutation. So I've never done the red outside of that. There have been a slew of permutations, but like that, the red one was specifically Beyond the Brick because of red, and that was the frog pod. That was the thing I designed, and I just that is probably like one of my favorite little builds because it was so me. That has launched my career in take these cutest animals you can think of and shove them in sci-fi things, be it a mech or spaceship.
Yeah, that's so wild, Simon. This has been sitting over there for years. I mean, for at least, well, let me think.
I think it was 2014-ish.
Okay, so I got it sometime later, but I've had it at least 2 years. I've had it at least 2 years, maybe 3 years. It's been sitting over there, and I had no idea it was connected to you. I love it. Now I love it even more. Now it's gonna sit. Look, it's gonna here. It's gonna sit right on top of my computer.
It's part of my grand scheme of living forever. They're actually Horcruxes where I've distributed around the AFOL world. So in order to kill me personally, you have to collect every single frog pod and destroy it. Good luck.
Oh man. All right. Oh, let's see. We got a couple other questions. Jacko says, "Who is your favorite builder? Do you have a favorite builder?" I know my answer.
Why don't you go first? Who's your favorite builder?
My favorite builder is Jake Sadovich. It's so I for some reason I feel like I have to apologize when I say that, and I don't know why. I think it's because I like the guy so dang much that it feels weird to also say that he's like it's like I'm his friend and his like biggest fan, and that feels weird to me. But I'll say it over and over again because he blows me away with, just the things that he's able to come up with from parts usages to interesting scales with different scales of figures and the ship in a bottle is awesome, but it's not even like I mean, there's just so many other tasty little things that he's got throughout his MOCs. But anyway, that's mine.
So I'm gonna segregate it to my favorite builder as a person, which unrelated to building, that doesn't matter. But in terms of my favorite builder that is a builder, I don't know if you met him. His name is Tyler. He recently married. I don't know if you know that.
Would you say he's a newlywed?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is just. Why I like Tyler is the fantastic builder, obviously, but it's the sense of humor, and I feel like I align with that, and just the number of times I see what he builds. His builds are so whimsical. It's just like, I'm sorry, my allegiance is to Team Tyler, Team Newlywed.
That's fine.
Because it is so adorable, and the fact that they made out on national television is fantastic. I'm hoping to see some beard makeouts as well. Because that would increase your touch. I don't know if you did or not. Hopefully so.
I can't remember if we kissed on camera. Well, I guess we'll have to find out. But
exactly, because that moment was absolutely adorable, and Tyler is just fantastic. Though I do gotta admit, while I loved the money farm. That was really fantastic. The I was almost gonna try to like dig out and see if I could find like a plaid shirt for tonight because I hear you like that. The beard is not gonna work, but I could at least do the plaid shirt
Yeah, yeah.
because the lumberjack dreamscape, which I'm from Canada, that's apparently all we do in hockey. So like the absolutely support you. We don't have that many chickens and such, but like. Oh man, you guys are just fantastic, and I gotta admit, I had so much fun watching last night with everyone, and like, can't wait.
Oh, that's good. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I was wondering. I was thinking like, I talked to Simon 2 days ago. I wonder if he watched Lego Masters, and like maybe we'll talk about that or maybe we won't. But
I don't want to make that about Lego Masters. We can if you want, but
no, it's
like
fine.
let's try to answer some more questions. But
Yeah. Let's see. We've got. Well, I always thought Boone was no, we're not. I'm sorry. We're Mark and I are not a couple. I didn't mean to make a joke about our orientations, but we are very close. Mark and I hugged a lot. Mark and I cried together a lot. And so like
you're not giving spoilers, are you? Because I'm very anti-spoiler.
I don't know if that's stuff that you'll see necessarily on the show. I just Mark and I got very in touch with our feelings as very close friends while we were on the show. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some point where we like were joking around with Amy and Tyler and pretended to kiss each other, but I don't remember off the top of my head if that actually happened or not. Oh, this is a funny thing. Perry makes a reference to BooneCon. And that's kind of a joke that I had rolling around with some folks. And you made a comment the other day that made me think you've got a similar joke, Simon Con.
So I'm actually wearing the T-shirt, Graham, if you're watching. We have so after many years, we actually have. So we've had a convention in Toronto before. Toronto is where the city I'm in.
Yeah.
City I love. And for many years there was Brookfest, which was fantastic. That sort of there was a gap and a stop, and Graham Diamond decided to. Graham, which people may or may not know, he's the big Duplo guy. Like if you've been to Chicago, if you've ever seen a lot of green Duplo, that's Graham. And last year he decided to start a convention in Toronto, show off Toronto and do the convention the way we want to do it. He brought me on, and it's been jokingly referred to as Simon Con because I have a disproportionate hand in helping and determining certain things, like what's in the goodie bag or some of the events and such. And so Simon Con is a thing. Like it's a running joke. Whenever we go visit any AFOL in any city and hang out and whatever we call it, that person names con. But in this case, no, there's actually a convention. There's 3 days of fun.
Yeah. If
you want to come early, there's additional fun. If you want to stay later, we can go ride roller coasters and play video games or whatever. So Simon Con is actually the week before Brick Fair, Virginia.
Okay.
Last year was the week after Brick Fair, Virginia, and we call it the so-called Lawn Con because that's really funny in that people that came for Virginia, we drove them down from there. We had like a carpool of 3 cars from Virginia, drive to Toronto, and like basically hung out for like 2.5 weeks. And that was just so much fun. And I'm really hoping more people come. The one build. So I think I said the number 1 favorite build of all time was the Frog Pod. Number 2 was the life-size escape room that I helped design and build in Toronto, where it was actually Duplo walls. There were 6 puzzles that you had to do, and it was all 100% Lego. And like that's probably my 2nd favorite build I've ever done, and such. So
that's awesome, Simon. I have to wrap up. I wish we could hang on all night long because I think we would continue to
If
have a lot
only
more
there
fun.
was like a BoonCon in 3 weeks or so that we can kind of hang out in.
Yeah, we'll get to
and
hang
continue
out.
this.
We'll get to hang out at BoonCon. Yeah, just come early. Come early to Bricks Cascade for BoonCon.
I'm
The
there Tuesday.
yeah, that's awesome. The theme of BoonCon is, what is it? I think it's like dragons versus unicorns or dragons versus. Someone remind me what the theme of BoonCon is, but anyway, Simon, it's been so great. Everyone watching live, thank you so much. If you watch this in the replay, thank you so much. You can find all those links in the description below. Kevin Hinkle, Ben Kahn, Perry Wang, Andy Olson, Dave Morgan, Eli Wilcia, Rick V, Holly. Bryce is here. Thank you all so much. Until next time, build on. This has been AFOL Spotlight Live.
Let's go! Climb aboard this proverbial Winnebago. We're talking